I'm a bystander. I am innocently doing my day-to-day activities. I stand at my locker or the drinking fountain, chatting with some friends. As I walk to class, I see a commotion. I stop in my tracks. Something doesn't seem right. That kid is harassing the other kid. Why isn't anyone doing anything about it? Everyone is gathering around them. Someone needs to step up. Well, maybe I should. No, I can't. Then they'll start to make fun of me. But if I don't, then something bad could happen to this kid. I really don't know what I should do. I'll just head to class and let someone else deal with this. I don't realize that I made the wrong choice. Whatever happens to that kid from here on out is partially my fault. I should have stepped up. I should have, but I didn't. I am no longer innocent. I am just as guilty as the bully. I am a bystander.
One of the most powerful parables in the Bible is that of the Good Samaritan. A man is passing by, seeing a stranger lying on the road, and the Bible is on the road from Jerusalem to Jericho, that many, many people have passed by and done nothing to help this suffering person. But the man from Samaria, the Good Samaritan, gets down off his camel, helps the man, brings him to an inn, gives the innkeeper money, checks on him to see that he's surviving and doing well. The idea is you should treat everyone as you would want them to treat you. It's the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It promotes the notion of social community, a sense in which, of reciprocity, we all should help one another if we ever want others to help us. But that Good Samaritan rule often gets challenged, because in many situations, people who are in need don't get the support they need. People pass them by, and that's called the bystander effect, the bystander indifference. So again, while you're watching this film clip, keep thinking, would I help? Would I intervene? What are the forces in that situation that would make me help? Or what keeps me, like most people, from helping, from being passive, in some cases from being indifferent to the suffering of my fellows?
Watch a pickpocket in action. The woman with the rucksack is his victim, and the man in the grey top on the left is the thief. Except they're both acting. In fact, everyone in the queue is with us, apart from the man in the blue shirt. As the thief moves in, will our bystander notice? He clearly has. What's more, he's seen that other people in the queue have noticed too. Now, what's he going to do about it? The answer is nothing. After all, no one else in the queue reacts, so why should he? Chances are, you wouldn't have done anything either. Whatever the man in the blue shirt thinks he's seen, he's influenced by the apathy of everyone else in the queue. In more serious situations, this could have disturbing consequences. Liverpool Street Station in London. A drunk lies on the pavement. In fact, he's our actor, Peter, but these passers-by aren't to know that. And since he looks the worse for wear, not critically ill, they ignore him. Helping would be inconvenient or even risky. He lies there for 20 minutes and no one raises an eyebrow. This time, we've dressed Peter as a respectable city gent. How long before he's rescued now that he looks the part?
Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm all right, then.
6 seconds. She even calls him sir. And suddenly, everyone's a good Samaritan.
Do you suffer from epilepsy?
No.
While you're lying on the floor in the rain?
After a couple of minutes, even the police turn up.
I would just hate to be in his position of feeling ill and nobody helping and walking past, so I'd just like to check that he was okay.
I thought, well, it's wet, so he must really be ill because he's going to ruin his suit anyway.
Our actress Ruth takes Peter's place. She's not a drunk, but she's also not a city gent. How long before she gets help? Four minutes have passed, and 34 people have passed.
People don't really want to know. They just haven't got the time. Well, they have got the time, they just don't want to get involved.
But it's more complicated than that. If the street were deserted, a passerby would probably go to the rescue. But these strangers have silently formed a temporary group with a rule: don't help. This woman, for instance, has clearly spotted Ruth, but she conforms to the rule and does nothing.
You all right? You all right?
Watch what happens, though, when someone else helps.
You all right? You sure?
She suddenly finds herself in a different group with a new rule: to help.
She don't look well, does she?
You all right? Yeah. Sure.
First I thought she was dead. Then I sort of checked to see if she was breathing or not. And I looked around and I couldn't believe that no one had noticed her, because there was a bloke that sat there just absorbed in reading a newspaper.
Peter's now having the same problem. This time, we've swapped his suit for casual clothes. He's not drunk, and we've asked him to act like he's in pain.
Help! Help! Help me! Please, somebody! Help me! Help me, somebody! Please help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Please, somebody help me! Please, somebody help me!
The Ash experiment is one of psychology's oldest and most popular pieces of research. A volunteer is told that he's taking part in a visual perception test. What he doesn't know is that the other participants are actors, and he's the only person taking part in the real test, which is actually about group conformity.
Please begin. The experiment you will be taking part in today involves the perception of line length. Your task will be simply to look at the line here on the left and indicate which of the three lines on the right is equal to it in length. So, for example, if you...
The actors have been told to match the wrong lines. The volunteer will be monitored to see if he gives the correct answer or if he goes along with the opinion of the group and gives the wrong answer. In the first test, the correct answer is 2.
1. 1.
1.
2.
1.
Once again, the correct answer is 2.
3.
3.
3.
3.
3.
The Ash experiment has been repeated many times, and the results have been sort of again and again. We will conform to the group. Again, we're very social creatures. We're very much aware of what the people around us think. We want to be liked. We don't want to be seen to rock the boat, so we will go along with the group. Even if we don't believe what people are saying, we'll still go along.
1.
1.
1.
1.
Group dynamics is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology.
The gentleman in the elevator now is a candid star. These folks who are entering, the man with the white shirt, the lady with the trench coat, and subsequently one other member of our staff, will face the rear. And you'll see how this man in the trench coat tries to maintain his individuality, but little by little, he looks at his watch, but he's really making an excuse for turning just a little bit more to the wall. Now we'll try it once again. Here's the candid subject. Here comes the Candid Camera staff, 3 of them at least. And this man has apparently been in groups before. Here's a fella with his hat on in the elevator. First he makes a full turn to the rear and Charlie closes the door. A moment later, we'll open the door, everybody's changed positions. Now we'll see if we can use group pressure for some good. Now, in a moment, on Charlie's signal, everybody turns forward. There it is. Notice they take off their hats. And now, do you think we could reverse the procedure? Watch.
Broken promises die like roadkill. They're on the side of the street. Concrete casualties of love, chewed up and spit out, raised high then dropped down. And now I don't know what's left of me, but I collect myself and crawl through the shadows, reach up my hands to the sky and shout out, I'll never make these same mistakes again. 'Cause someone out there holds the key to my heart. I do everything to tear it apart, but I never allowed myself to let you in. When all I want is for you to see the side that I don't show to anyone. Fear that they may turn and run alone and incomplete. No more tears to cry and no more blood to bleed. I fall forever endlessly when you should be the ground beneath my feet, the better half of me. When all I want is for you to see the side that I don't show to anyone, and fear that they may turn and run alone and incomplete. No more tears to cry and no more blood to bleed. I fall forever endlessly when you should be the ground beneath my feet, the better half of me.
Everybody, or almost everybody, is familiar with the story in the Bible of the Good Samaritan who stops to help a wounded man lying by the side of the road. And most of us would like to believe we would do the same. We'd also like to believe that a young college student like David Cash would have been Good Samaritan enough to have stepped in and done something, anything, when he saw another young man, his best friend, assaulting a little girl who minutes later his best friend raped and murdered. But for the past few months, David Cash has been the subject of nationwide outrage over his decision to walk away and not even report the rape and murder of 7-year-old Sharice Iverson. The 19-year-old Cash, a sophomore at the University of California at Berkeley and a nuclear engineering major, has become an outcast on campus.
We want Cash out! We want Cash out!
Many of his fellow students there are demanding the university expel him. They are infuriated not only by his failure to save Sharice Iverson, but also by remarks he made this summer on a Los Angeles radio program.
How much am I supposed to sit down and cry about this? I mean, let's be reasonable here. Is my life supposed to halt for days, weeks, and months on end?
And if that weren't bad enough, he added this.
The simple fact remains, I do not know this little girl. I do not know starving children in Panama. I do not know, people that die of disease in Egypt.
Some people have called you the Bad Samaritan. You think that's an appropriate name?
No, most certainly not. These names that people call me, I've been called the antithesis of today's teens, Bad Samaritan, a textbook sociopath. I've been called it all.
David Cash's trouble started just before he enrolled at Berkeley. One night last year, his father took him and his best friend Jeremy Strohmeyer, seen together in this home video, to a casino near Las Vegas. Surveillance cameras there show the two boys playing video games at 3:30 in the morning. Strohmeyer then spots Sharice Iverson, whose father was gambling nearby. The cameras record Sharice walking into a women's restroom, followed by Jeremy Strohmeyer, and then, a minute later, by David Cash.
When I entered the bathroom, Jeremy Strohmeyer and Sharice Iverson were throwing paper towels at each other. They were just playing, seemed just horsing around. And it came to a point where Jeremy grabbed her and took her into a stall, to one of the bathroom stalls. I went into the adjacent stall, looked over, and Jeremy was restraining her with his left hand over her stomach and his right hand over her mouth.
And she was trying to scream.
He was muffling her screams.
Cash says he then heard Strohmeyer threaten Sharice Iverson, saying, "Shut up or I'll kill you."
I tapped him on the head, because it was completely out of character, and he didn't really respond to me. He gave me kind of a blank stare. So, in my opinion, it was like time for me to get out of there.
Why?
Well, when an 18-year-old male grabs a 7-year-old child, that's not a position I want to be in. Based on what I saw, it wasn't something I wanted to stick around and see what would materialize.
Did you say to him, "Jeremy, come on, stop, let's go"?
I was giving him a look as if, that he shouldn't be doing that.
But you never said, "Stop, get out of here, this is wrong"?
Verbally, I did not say that, but my body language certainly suggested it.
According to the surveillance cameras, David Cash walked out of the bathroom about 2 minutes after he entered. Strohmeyer was seen leaving some 22 minutes later. But Sharice Iverson never left. Her body was discovered in the bathroom. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled. What did he say to you when he came out?
He immediately confessed.
Confessed?
Yes.
What did he say?
He looked at me and said, I killed her.
Just like that?
Just like that.
After Strohmeyer confessed to Cash that he had killed Sharice Iverson, they went to other casinos where they played slot machines and rode roller coasters for several hours before heading back home to California. Did you think to turn him in to the police?
The thought crossed my mind, but I didn't act on it.
Why?
I know that his day of reckoning is coming. I didn't want to be the one that turned him in.
You felt that was more important than to report a murderer?
Even though he had told me that he had committed murder, it was really hard for me to fathom Jeremy as a quote-unquote murderer.
But he told you he was.
I understand that, but he's also my best friend. You know, we're taking AP English together.
But after Cash and Strohmeyer returned home, friends who had seen the surveillance tapes played on the local news tipped off police. Strohmeyer was charged with murder, and 3 weeks ago, to avoid the death penalty, he pled guilty. He is now serving life in prison without parole. But David Cash, who watched as Strohmeyer physically assaulted a little girl just minutes before she was murdered, has not been charged with any crimes.
He's evil! He's evil!
Yolanda Manuel is Sharice Iverson's mother. She is estranged from Sharice's father and was not at the casino with him the night of the murder. She has collected 20,000 signatures urging prosecutors to charge Cash with a crime.
He seen Jeremy Strohmeyer put his hands over her mouth and carried her in the bathroom. He seen it. Anytime you stand and you look at something happening to anybody, not only a child, any human being, a dog, a cat, or whatever, you've seen that happen. So you are murdered within yourself. You still got the blood of my babies on your hand.
You think he is an accessory to murder?
Yes, he is. I think he should be charged with accessory to the murder of my child because he could have did something to stop it. He didn't do anything.
There is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls, and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel
Are you okay?
sold by the color of green. The ground had rose and past its knees. By the cracks of his skin I climbed to the